Welcome back. At the state capitol, lawmakers have only a couple of weeks left in the legislative session, and there is still a lot to tackle. Our political reporter, Danny Spiewak, has an update on where things stand.
Republican and Democratic legislative leaders are continuing to meet with Governor Walz behind closed doors as they map out the final weeks of the 2026 legislative session. They're coming up with what's known as a global agreement that can guide how much money can be spent in each area, considering this is not actually a budget year. Well, one of the defining issues in these final weeks is help for struggling HCMC and Hennepin Healthcare. County leaders have warned that the hospital, HCMC, could close as early as this summer if they don't get some kind of state assistance. Well, so far, the Senate has passed a bill that would include $150 million in stabilization funding for HCMC, and there are other bills being debated to raise a county sales tax and other ideas to get ongoing revenue for HCMC.
We, the Senate, have put a fair amount of money into Hennepin County Medical Center, into funding for uncompensated care for distressed hospitals.
There are also a number of fraud bills that are moving forward on a bipartisan basis. That includes the Office of Inspector General proposal to create a new statewide office to investigate fraud across Minnesota state government. It took some negotiations, but finally, Republicans and Democrats have put this bill to the House floor so it could get a full House vote soon, and the Senate is on board with the compromise version that they came up with, meaning that if Governor Walz signs it, as he says he will, there could be this new office created as early as next year.
It's an excellent bill. It was an excellent compromise. It was long process, but we're good, and the Senate is good, and that's the key.
There are also a host of other issues that will be on the agenda in these final weeks. That includes a bonding bill for infrastructure that Governor Walz says he wants to get done, also relief for property taxes in Minnesota. So there are some areas of common ground in this Capitol, but again, with a divided legislature and a tied House, everything needs bipartisan support to pass. At the Capitol, I'm Danny Spiewak, KARE 11 News.
The session, by the way, ends in 2 weeks on Monday, May 18th. When a Minnesota man unexpectedly lost his life after a brain aneurysm, his family was left to make difficult decisions. But as Raya Katene reports, with the help of the Viking World Order, the Burnsville family managed to give their loved one a goodbye unlike any other.
Even if you don't believe in miracles,
it was phenomenal.
The Minneapolis Miracle years ago had many Minnesotans believing.
We actually spent the Minneapolis Miracle in here together.
Sitting in the same room almost a decade later,
yeah.
These lifelong Vikings fans believe miracles are real, but sometimes they're not the ones you wish for.
The thought of him being in pieces was really hard.
If I had any power to uncheck that box, then I would.
Before he unexpectedly passed away from a brain aneurysm in March, 35-year-old Stephen Clarkin had never talked to his family about choosing to be an organ donor. Stephen's partner Courtney, mom Jane, brother Jason, and sister-in-law Jackie were by his side in the hospital until he took his final breath.
We've been praying 2 days for our miracle. It's not going to come. Let's make other miracles happen.
Stephen's organs, including his kidneys and liver, saved the lives of a 66, 55, and 31-year-old, and
a 6-year-old little girl received his heart valves.
A partial heart transplant, an operation so rare only about 70 have been done across the country.
Stephen is a special story to tell.
Jason Villar is with LifeSource, the organization that helped the Clarkins navigate Stephen's decision to save others, including a 6-year-old child.
It's a very new and novel procedure that only a handful of pediatric heart programs across the country are moving forward with.
You know, he was a dad, so he would have wanted that.
Stephen and Courtney's 2 little girls are already Vikings fans just like their dad, a love for the purple and gold Stephen inherited from his own dad, Jeff, who also passed away a couple of years ago.
Stephen's brain aneurysm actually happened on Jeff's birthday this year.
As Stephen was wheeled into the operating room, he received a farewell unlike most.
I lived it and I can't believe it.
Draped in his dad's Vikings hoodie, it was a purple and gold goodbye Stephen's family says he would have wanted.
It's actually a gift.
In this room, Stephen spent so much of his life.
It turned into a Vikings room the day we moved in.
And in some ways, his family says he's still here.
It is truly a miracle.
In other ways, they say it's a miracle. Parts of Stephen will always be in more places than one.
It really changed my view. Actually, I have now checked that box.
It feels like he's a hero.
Yes.
In Burnsville,
And he is.
Raya Koenig,
He is a hero.
KARE 11 News.
Wow. Woo. Okay, moving on. Trending today, a summer staple is back. The Minneapolis Farmers Market is officially open for the summer season. And as Sammy Solina explains, this year is a special one for the market.
At the Minneapolis Farmers Market,
I have mango lemonade, strawberry, rhubarb.
it's not just about the food,
Julie,
but the connection.
how are you?
Just ask Executive Director Ashley Nathy,
Well, it's our 150th year.
who was literally born because of it.
Flowers are special to me because my dad's been a vendor here since 1976. It's actually how he met my mom.
For 150 years,
I know who's in what stall.
the market has connected people to food and growers.
It was 1876. And then when we moved over to this location in 1937, it was built for horse and buggy. So throughout the market still, you can see the ledge where the buggy would have backed up to. So it's come a long way from 1937 and horses and buggies, obviously.
Blossoming into a modern day market.
I probably planted a lot of these.
This is the first weekend it's been open for the season.
I have 128 vendors to be exact. They rotate through 170 stalls. So Mother's Day is my biggest weekend, and then it'll continue to grow from there.
So here's to 150 years
Will you set me some green bananas aside?
of growing
Thank you.
connections.
With so many people, you tend to forget where they all go.
The farmers market will be open throughout the season until October 31st. Sammy Solina, KARE 11 News.
And if you want to go, the market is open from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Wednesday through Friday and 6 a.m. to 1 on the weekends. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.